When you get out of class, you reach for it. When you're working, you take a break just to have a moment with it. Perhaps you've even fallen asleep with it in your hands. A cigarette? A can of pop? No. According to Dr. Chris Kniper, the third most addictive substance for Americans is the cell phone. Cell phones are an internal part of our lives. 200 million Americans own one. According to the Center on Media and Child Health, many of the phones are in the hands of children. 22% of children ages 6 through 9, 60% of teens ages 10 through 14, and 84% of teens ages 15 through 18 own a cell phone. A cell phone at hand seems almost to contain some sort of energy all on its own. It empowers us to go to new levels of communication. Cell phones are a necessary part of life, but there is also a downside to its convenience. Most notable in teens who suffer negative effects both socially and physically, and who are more likely to have distractions affect their daily lives. Let's take a moment to chat about these negative effects and dial up the possible solutions. Can you hear me now? Good. Okay, how about now? Okay, good. According to Dr. Chris Kniper, a counselor at Betty Ford Center in California, overuse of cell phones has become a social problem for tens of thousands of Americans. It has created an obstacle for one-on-one personal contact and escape from reality. It sounds extreme, but we've all witnessed the evidence. Two teens sitting across from each other at the lunch table, both texting instead of talking to each other. Another teen ignoring their parent who is trying to communicate with them because they are too engaged in their phone. Or vice versa, a child who is trying to get their parent's attention, but their parent is too busy yakking on their iPhone. Jim Williams, an industrial socialist in Massachusetts, notes that cell phone addiction at any age is part of a set of symptoms in a widening gulf of personal isolation. These symptoms have had the most impact on teens. 25% of teens say that they have no one to whom to discuss their personal business. This has led teens to have low self-esteem and develop anxiety and depression. Just as our phones need to be recharged, so do our bodies. But research has shown that excessive cell phone use can lead to stress and fatigue. According to Science Daily, people with excessive use of cell phones, both talking and texting for more than 5 hours daily, have increased restlessness with more careless lifestyles, unhealthy eating habits, difficulty falling asleep, and are more susceptible to stress and fatigue. These symptoms are found in a lot of today's teens. Teens feel a group pressure to remain interconnected and reachable around the clock. According to the Center on Media and Child Health, teen cell users are likely to be awakened at night by incoming texts or calls, and are therefore more likely to be tired and less able to focus throughout the day. The lack of sleep results in bad performances in school. Some research investigating the effects of electromagnetic radiation from cell phones in close proximity to the body have found some associations, while others have found no increased risk. But according to Center on Media and Child Health, it has been proven that focusing continually on a small screen and typing on small buttons causes eye strain and digital thumb. When our phones are searching for service, they don't function properly. A person distracted by their cell phone is equally as ineffective. Cell phones are a big distraction to all drivers, but more unexperienced drivers, or teens, are more likely to be distracted because they are unaware of the risks. According to an article written by Larry Copeland for USA Today, nearly 9 out of 10 teenage drivers have engaged in distracted driving behaviors such as texting or talking on the phone while driving. Teens talk on the phone and text and drive without regard to the potential danger. Car accidents involving teens and cell phones have increased. The exact statistics can't be detailed because they change and increase daily. Inside the classroom, students are distracted from lessons to text, check Facebook, and if they're daring, call other people with their cell phones. Cell phone ringers, alarms, and vibrations disrupt the flow of lessons and the attention of every student in the room, and even the teacher. According to the National School Safety Services, text messaging can be an aid for cheating students. Also, the camera on a cell phone can be used to take pictures of tests. Now that we've received some of the information and the problems of cell phones, let's send out some solutions to ease our addictions. If you are a friend or a teen with cell phone addiction, if you know of a teen with cell phone addiction, let their parents or guardians know about your concerns. If you're a parent of a teen who has a cell phone addiction, there are many ways to stop this addiction, according to the Center on Media and Child Health. First of all, parents need to be good role models for their teens. Parents need to limit their cell phone use and be able to follow the same rules they set for their teen in order to expect the teen to do the same. Parents need to discuss their child's motivations for having a cell phone. Talk about its use for safety rather than as a status symbol or a way to fit in. This may not only cut down on their teen's time on the cell phone, but also initiate a conversation about their life. Parents have the right to set rules for its use, like always answer your parents' phone calls, identify where and with whom you are with. Parents can also limit their teens' use and have them take responsibility of paying their own bills. Parents need to establish rules around cell phone uses at night. They should require their teen to turn their cell phone off at night and keep it in a common area rather than allowing them to take it into their room where they can call or text late into the night. Whenever parents are engaged in a one-on-one conversation with their teen, they shouldn't allow them to use their cell phone. This way, they will learn to respect people while communicating with them. As for cell phones being a distraction in school, schools need to develop stricter policies on cell phone usages. For example, in the fall of 2009, when my school enacted a very strict policy, cell phones disappeared in the classroom because students didn't want to risk not having their phone for the rest of the week, or being in detention, or even becoming ineligible. Message received. Now that we received the message that cell phones can be a negative addiction, let's open it up and apply these to our daily lives.